of you that are here. Certainly a pleasure to see all of you at our Board of Commissioners meeting. This is our Commissioners meeting. Here we take care of the business for Northampton County. We want to say to you, thank you for coming and sharing with us. Those who are on Facebook, we know that you are there, and we thank you for finding us and want to come in and listen and to see what we have going on. As all of you know, that when we meet, we do have a mission statement. That mission statement is behind me on the wall, which says to all of you, our purpose for being here and our purpose for doing what we do. The other one is our vision statement, and our vision statement is there on the wall. You have an opportunity to read that. Likewise, I shall not indulge in reading it for you, but you see it there, and that's why we're here. As we have called our meeting to order, we do have a quorum of the county commissioners. Thank you, county commissioners, all of you that are here. We know that Mr. Edwards could not be here tonight. He's at a board meeting. We know that Commissioner Faulkner said that she would be on because she has some family situations that she had to take care of. But at any rate, here we are, and we're ready to begin our meeting. At this time, we just have a moment of silence. Just a moment, please. Thank you. We live in the best place to live in America, the United States of America. If you please stand with me as we now shall say our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Board members, you do have before you a agenda. Agenda is fairly light tonight, and we certainly appreciate that. We shouldn't be here so long tonight, so we note that this is the business that we've had to come up before us, and this is the agenda. If anybody want to add anything to the agenda, will you feel free to do so, board members? Anything you want to take away, if you don't feel comfortable with it right now, you feel free to do so. If not, could I have a motion that we would approve the agenda as given?
Make a motion, we approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved and properly second that we approve the agenda as presented. Are there any questions, any discussion? If not, all in favor, let known by usual sign aye.
I, Broadnax Taylor.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Have it. Motion is carried. Thank you, attorney. At this time, we have with us that we note we have a conflict of interest statement. We're going to ask our attorney to please read that for us tonight.
In accordance with the rules of procedures adopted by this board in section 153A-44 of the North Carolina General Statutes, it is the duty of every member present to vote on all matters coming before the board, unless there is a conflict of interest as determined by the board or by law. Does any board member have a conflict of interest with respect to any agenda item coming before the board today? If so, please identify the conflict and the board will consider the matter.
Board members?
No conflict.
No conflict, Broadnax Taylor.
No conflict, Charles Steiner. Thank you so much. At this time, we shall move forward with our consent agenda. Tonight, we have a consent agenda. This consent agenda is those items that we discussed at our last meeting in our work session, and we hope we answered all the questions that you would have with the items before us. Is the transportation, is the approval right-of-way agreement with the Department of Transportation, Avalo and tax appeals, and budget amendment number 45. Anybody want to take anything off the consent agenda? So we'll do so. If not, I will have a motion this time to accept the consent agenda.
Make a motion that we accept the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, we move to proper second, and we accept the consent agenda as given. Any questions, any other discussion? Not all in favor, let me know by usual sign aye.
I, Broadnax Taylor.
Aye.
Ayes, as have it, motion is carried. As we should continue with number 6, is you have in your package this evening a proposed approval of a memorandum of understanding for the creation of a regional film commission. You have the information. I will not read it. You have the information in your packet. What it is, the said county is desiring to have a film commission already established because it seems like film and now brings a lot of money, tourism to the counties. And they're saying, let's be proactive. Let's have one already started amongst the counties as listed. And you have those counties that we want to be a part of it. Yes.
So commissioners and members of the public, the counties in the memorandum of understanding, first of all, it was proposed by Bertie County. The other counties are Martin, Hertford, Chowan, Perquimans, and Pasquotank. And I'll just note that there are no funding obligations to the memorandum. It does state that each party agrees to discuss and consider contributing funds, but there's no obligation for the county to do so. The term of the MOU is for 3 years, and any party may terminate their participation with 30 days written notice.
Again, the commissioners, I think it's being proactive to the fact that the state now has a lot of money in that industry. And in case they want to come our way, we will already be prepared. And I think they have some hits of somebody want to come do a film down in perhaps Bertie County, and might include us and other counties down here. So that's what this proposal. It doesn't cost us any money, but just let them know that we are ready. We want to come to Northampton County to do any filming in our county. Are there any questions? Any other questions?
Commissioner, Chairman Tyner, I was thinking about this, and I think I read that North Carolina made over $258 billion
That's right.
in the film industry.
Yes.
So this is a lucrative collaboration. Also, we will be doing a lot of dealing, I can imagine, with the North Carolina Office of Film Office.
Mhm.
And the North Carolina Department of Commerce. I think they're part of the North Carolina Department of Commerce as well.
Right.
So this is a lot of
It is.
funding
A
here.
lot of money.
Hmm.
State is a lot of funding in this area. Wilmington, you know, they just all out in that
Yes.
and making sure that they receive a lot of that funding.
They're number one.
That's right. Okay, you're right. Listen, you do your homework. I Clay you. Okay, I thought I was smart. You're smart enough. Okay, and this time, what is your pleasure, board members? What is your pleasure tonight?
Make a motion, we approve the memorandum of understanding for the creation of Regional Film Commission.
I second that motion.
Moved and properly second that we approve this memorandum of understanding, creation of a regional film commission. All in, any question? Discussion? Not all in favor, let known by usual sign aye.
I, Broadnax Taylor.
Aye.
Aye, Charles Towner, ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much, commissioners. As we go to number 7 on our tab, we find that we have a day of expectation, celebration, invitation. Dr. German, George German, see that he's here. Dr. German, will you please come to the podium, please? Dr. Jarman. We're waiting on you. Yeah, I'm ready, yeah. Yeah, oh, yeah. Good evening, good evening. We're doing fine.
Board member. And all, it's good to be in your presence
God bless you.
once again tonight.
Pull the Mac down just a little bit, so pull your Mac.
Okay,
There we go.
better,
Yes,
okay. First of all, I'd like to say, I thank the board for your decision in granting German Institute of Barber and Cosmetic Art, the micro grant. It has been a blessing to us, all of our students who have graduated. We're batting 1,000 because all of them that had gone before the board and met all state requirements and are out working. So we're grateful for that. I come tonight, Mr. Chairman and distinguished board members, because of the things that I have observed and gone through myself for the last few years. I have wrestled with cancer. I was diagnosed with cancer in 2019. I experienced some anxiety and some depression. And I'm grateful that God has healed my body and enabled me to go through some very difficult and traumatic moments in my life. Come December the 5th of this year, I'll be 4 years cancer-free. I've been able to walk through the very difficult of anxiety and depression. And what I have endured has caused me to have a deeper compassion for people. I've always had a love for people because I'm a people person. But I see so many of our children, in particular here in Northampton County, as they are wrestling with their pain and suffering. There's a lot of cancers, a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, and a lot of sleepless nights. I observe many of them how they are trying to suppress much of what they are feeling and going through. I see them eating a lot of sweets, a lot of junk food. They're using a lot of prescribed drugs, a lot of street drugs, a lot of alcohol and tobacco that really doesn't help the situation. Many of them have lost hope, have no expectation that they can be able to overcome. Some has even given up along the way. Two favorite stores that I like to stop in Seaboard where I stay, I go in Dutry, I go in Cosmetic Mart, and just about every time I go in there, the line that I see with people that purchase the things that they are purchasing, alcohol, tobacco, trying to suppress what they are feeling and going through. Because when you are going through traumatic moment, there at least a chemistry imbalance in the brain, then most folks don't like to listen to it when you talk about the brain, but the traumatic moment, the war that's going on with the chemical imbalance cause people to have highs and lows, ins and outs, rounds about difficulty. When you see them purchasing alcohol in the back, sometimes they're just trying to suppress, trying to get from one step, one distance to another. They buying lottery ticket, trying to get a hold of that piece of the economical prosperity. And they find themselves coming up short many times and many times. And I see how they are doing. God has allowed me to walk in their shoes. And yes, I have a compassion for them. I talked to Ms. McGee, the health department about it, Ms. Garrett, and they partnered with me and agreed with me. So I come tonight because God is directing my heart to go back home and celebrate a day of expectation where people can have some hope, where people can have some feeling that somebody cares, somebody have some compassion about you. You may ask it and say that, Reverend, that what do a day or one day of celebration has to do with what people are going through? Well, I share with you, when I was going through my moment and the caseworker, I seen the miracle of what interacting with people can cause in your life. Just one act of kindness and love shown can change an individual for life. There is a thin line between sane and insane.
Right.
There is a thin line between a man making a decision to go home and embrace his 4 little children after a long day's work, rather than going home and line them all up on a wall and execute them. There's a thin line between a man wrestling and going through his difficult day than taking a gun and blowing his brains out. There's a thin line between a man going home to greet his mother, and yet still he go home and take a knife and cut her head off. There is a thin line, and the line gets even thinner when people become individualized. It's better when we are together. Walter Braxton Cannon, one of the great theologians and medical doctors in the 18th century, did a beautiful theorizing when he came out and did his theorizing on homeostasis between the mind and the body. And he said when people are faced with traumatic and difficult moments in life, they're going to either flight or they're going to fight. We see it when lower class animals, when we go up on them, they run, but they soon come together with their mate. But the trouble with human, when we flight, we become individualized. We feel like nobody cares, nobody knows what I'm going through. I'm the only one that's been doing this. And so it beats them down. And most of the time, they do self-inflicted wound to themselves. What they're going through actually don't do them more harm than they do to themselves. So we have a much better record, Mr. Chairman, when we come together, when we embrace one another, when we celebrate. Just one little moment can change a person to make him say, yes, I can be an overcomer. I can survive. I can make it through this traumatic moment in life. I come to you tonight, Mr. Chairman and fellow board member, because yes, I am designed. Northampton County Health Department is finding with us. We going there. We want to fellowship. We want to teach the people how to eat better. We putting emphasis on 3 health departments. They come prostate cancer, because most of our men, we definitely need to be aware about cancer. Early detection save lives. We putting emphasis on health, mental health, because most people suffer from their mental health for the lack of knowledge and negative pride. We don't want folks to know that we have issues with our mental health, and we withdraw from knowledge that can help us get through some traumatic moments. And the last thing you know, we're going to definitely put emphasis on gut health. Because Walter Braxton Cannon also said that if you give the body what it needs to process its own natural course of equilibrium and keep your homeostasis, no matter how difficult you are going through physically, you can survive. I'm a living witness of what his theory is. You can survive. Not saying that it won't be painful, but you can survive. But most of us give our bodies what it wants and not what it needs. We want to come together and celebrate, Mr. Chairman, and teach your parents and introduce them to a new diet, something that's going to be healthy to their gut. Because there are neurons in our gut area that communicate with our brain. And they tell our brain that, we're going to be well or we're going to give up. When you see an individual wrestling with his difficulty, if his gut get too big, extremely large, he's in danger. If his gut get too thin, he's in danger. So we want to educate them. We want to celebrate them, Mr. Chairman. And I need some help with this assignment. I need some help in the funding to help make this reality to come true. I believe that, Mr. Chairman, that the people of Northampton County deserve the best. And truly, our people are suffering because of the lack of knowledge. They're suffering because of lack of care and compassion. I'm a Northampton County born, Mr. Chairman. I'm a Northampton County bred. And it seemingly when I die, I'll be a Northampton dead. And one of the greatest things that I like to be remembered for, that I showed some compassion for some boy, some girl, some man and woman, that maybe some man that was almost at the verge of giving up and not going home to his family was able to return to his family. That little boy and that little girl was not without a father, or that little boy and little girl was not without a mother, because they had the inner strength, had some loving compassion that somebody cared, and they was able to make the journey. Please, Mr. Chairman, distinguished board member, support me in this endeavor. I promise you, you will not regret it. Not only have God blessed me to go through this sermonic moment, but he also has blessed me to compose a book. The book is full of wisdom about how you can heal and change your life by connecting to your gut. If you be good to your gut, you shall be blessed. On the day of celebration, we're expecting our producer, our publisher, and our editor to be there with her. There'll be a photo shoot. We would love to have our distinguished board members to be in our presence. This is a time that we want to celebrate our citizens of Northampton County. Mr. Chairman, I have a list of giving the project scope. I'd like to present that to you tonight. Any way that you can partner with me in this endeavor, I'll be most highly appreciative.
Thank you. Board members, you have any questions you would like to ask? Chairman, I need to ask you one. Your organization 5013C. Is your organization a 5013C?
I do not.
You do not. Okay.
No, sir. I do not.
You do not have 5013C.
No, sir.
Well, what we can do, Mr. Chairman, I'll give it to the county manager. We would be happy to put it on our website. So if anybody who want to give a contribution can do so, we'll be ready. And any individual board members who desire to do so can do so. Okay. But and we'll talk it over with our county manager. Okay. But it's hard to do anything without a 5013C. Okay, just want you to know that it's a nonprofit status. It's a status that make it so that it's tax exempt.
Put it on the website.
Yes, sir.
And if,
We'll
you
put it.
individually
Yes,
make
sir.
a contribution.
I will.
I
Okay,
mean, most highly-
thank you. Board members, any other question? If not, could we go on to the next one? Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so much. I
We appreciate it. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Now we have some financial matters. Yes.
Good evening, everyone. I will be presenting budget amendments number 46 through 54 for your consideration. I will first be starting with budget amendment number 46. This is on behalf of the Economic Development Department, and this is in the amount of $38,166.66. And this amendment is to reprogram salaries, just to a movement of funds to support salary.
No new money, same money, just gonna reprogram. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Board members, you got any questions? Continue.
Okay, thank you. The next budget amendment is budget amendment number 47. This is on behalf of the Health Department. And this is in the amount of $1,378.63. And this is just a rollover funds, from the ARPA mini grant. So rollover, leftover grant funds on behalf of the Health Department.
Well, members, unless you stop or we continue. Continue.
Okay. Thank you. The next budget amendment number 48 on behalf of the Elections Department in the amount of $4,033.97. This is also a rollover grant funds from the NCCF grant. Okay. The next budget amendment is budget amendment number 49 on behalf of the Cooperative Extension Department in the amount of $9,595.63. This is also rollover grant funds for cooperative extension.
Give that amount again, because I think it might have.
Oh, sorry, $9,595.63.
Thank you.
The next budget amendment is budget amendment number 50 on behalf of the Sheriff Department in the amount of $26,600. And this is also the rollover of funds on behalf of the Sheriff Department. Okay. All right. The next budget amendment is budget amendment number 51. This is on behalf of the Health Department, but this is for new funding received from the state in the amount of $2,000 for maternal health. Budget amendment number 52 is also on behalf of the Health Department. And this is new funding received from the state as well, in the amount of $153,426 for local workforce development. Budget amendment number 53 is for the Health Department as well. New funding received from the state in the amount of $21,337 even. And this is for the COVID Enhanced Detection Program. And the last budget amendment on the evening for consideration is budget amendment number 54 on behalf of the Sheriff Department in the amount of $1,827.70. And these are funds received for insurance reimbursement. And this concludes my budget amendments for consideration on this evening. Thank you.
Board members, you listened as I did, and we saw it in a packet. Maybe there's one that you might not understand and want to go back through, and you might need to ask some questions about it. Because tonight, it seems as though we have a sizable number, and that's because of the fact money rolled over from last year into this year, and she's got to put it in our budget. There was no money here coming from our budget, new monies. We did not already have budget.
Right.
So if you need to, board members, if you need to, I don't want.
I have a question, sorry.
Oh, okay, good evening.
Good evening. For the ARPA funds, what is the date for encumbering those funds?
ARPA funds, it depends on which, we got ARPA funds for the health department, we got ARPA funds, the social services, every department have had some ARPA funds. Okay, so you asking about the date when we need to spend it all out of those departments?
Depending upon which authorizing budget or which with federal authorizing code that gave those funds, some of the funds expire in some areas September of this year for encumbering and all payouts by December with no salaries between September 30th and December, and some are September 2024. So if we can just check and see when is the sunset on those funds, again, depending upon when they were, which round they were giving to us. I just don't want us to miss something or spend and then not be able to having those funds revert. So if you could just check on that for us, just to make sure. The September 30th is right around the corner if it's anything that would expire this year.
Okay. I can get that information over. That's not a problem.
Okay. Get that information. We just don't want to send back none of that money.
Absolutely.
But it's once in a lifetime. It won't be no more. Won't be no more. We get this kind of funds. Every department get it. Certainly. Commissioners, do you have any other question? Any other question? Any other question? Commissioner Faulkner, any other question?
No,
Any
sir.
other question? Okay, thank you so much. Glad you're on. Glad to hear your voice. At this time, we shall entertain a motion then that we shall accept these what are they?
I make a motion that we accept the amendments as presented
Okay.
by our finance director.
Okay.
Second.
We moved in proper second that we accept the amendments as given. Are there any questions in discussion? If not, all in favor, let it known by you sign aye. Aye.
I, Broadnax Taylor.
Faulkner.
Aye, Charles Towner, ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you so much. At this time, we will have a fifth citizens county manager for comments. At this time, we do have from our citizen. We are asking at this time, our attorney, will you please, this.
Chair Time.
Yes,
I was not able to get connected right at the beginning, and I just wanted to state for the record that I have no conflict of interest since I did.
okay. Thank you so much. Okay, we appreciate it. Okay.
Yes, so we have one public citizen comments that I've received tonight. So when you're recognized, please approach the podium, speak clearly into the microphone. Your comments will be limited to 5 minutes. Chair will cut off all speakers exceeding their allotted time. If you have any questions of the board, you'll receive a subsequent response from the board or county staff. The board will not respond or otherwise engage in a dialogue with you during your allotted time. Under North Carolina law, this time is allotted on the agenda for citizen comments for the purpose of allowing public commentary on county business. This is not an open forum to be publicly critical of the performance of any county commissioner or county employee, and the chair will maintain the order and decorum of the meeting. Ms. Marcia Majette, I believe. Marcia Majette. My apologies, ma'am.
Good evening, County.
Good evening.
Steve.
Good evening.
My name is Marcy Majette. I'm a town commissioner, Rich Ware, and I have a concern about the process of the playground. I was just wanting to know the status, how it's coming on, and see the prompts out there for the fence to be put out and all that. I just wanted to know where we stand with our playground. My next question is, the area where we used to have the principal, the secretary and all in that part of the building. I know the whole building has been declared asbestos and condemned, but I was just wondering if that portion of the building somehow was still salvageable. I don't know. And like I said, I know what was the final decision on the whole building. But it was brought to my attention about that area. And if you could just let me know the status of that area, please. And thirdly, it was brought to my attention about the urgent care situation in the county. If we want to know the status of that coming to our county. The urgent care system, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you for.
Appreciate it. clerk to the board will respond to you. Yeah, I know I'll be quicker than that now. We got a new system. We can respond to you quicker now.
So you let me know my email or?
Yes, ma'am, yes. That's how you want to email it, and then you write it, right, give them a copy too. The hard copy, what I'm trying to say. Okay,
Call me that time.
okay, okay. Give it to me. Thank you. Were there any other citizens?
That's all I have, Chairman Tyner.
Comments? Any other citizens? If not, we shall now have remarks from our, comments from our county government, from our county manager. And by the way, tonight, I was surprised to see Mr. Daniels. Mr. Daniel was our county manager here at one time in Northampton County. And now Mr. Daniel said he's moved back to Northampton County. And he said he coming here to see if we were carrying this on like it's supposed to be. Mr. Daniel, we are appreciative of your wanting to come back to Northampton County. He's been to the mountains and he's lived there, and now he's come back to Northampton County. We're just glad to have bodies in Northampton County, living bodies in Northampton County. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you. All not bad in Northampton County. When someone has worked here and then leave and then want to come back and retire here, that's a plus for us. So thank you. Let's give him a hand for being here. Thank you so much. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you. Our county manager.
Excuse me. Good evening, everyone. I have a couple of announcements, some good announcements. It's always good when you can have a day off. You don't have a full day, but on September 1st, all government buildings will close half a day. Just in accordance with what we've done in the past few years in observance of Labor Day. And the second announcement is I'm pleased to announce that we have found a new economic development director, Mr. Derek Bennett. He will start with us on September 1st. Just to give you just a few nuggets, he has 7 years of general contracting experience, both residential and commercial. He has 5 years of risk management experience. He has an MBA from East Carolina University with a concentration in finance. He has a bachelor's of arts from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, with a concentration in economics. He's a licensed North Carolina general and electrical contractor. So I've had an opportunity to converse with him, and he gave me his plan for 6 months to the next couple of years, and I'm just excited to get him on board and get started. And I'm sure you all have an opportunity to meet with him and talk with him, but he will be here on September 1st, and I'm looking forward to it. That's all I have for tonight.
The name?
Derek Bennett. It'll be in the papers. It'll be in the media. I don't want to close it up saying thank you all for showing up. I always like to say that every time, but I do appreciate when citizens show up and show that you are concerned about what's going on in Northampton County, and you come out to hear the business of the county. So thank you for coming out tonight.
Thank you. At this time, we have commissioners. How about it, Commissioner Taylor? Any comments?
Like to thank everybody for coming, and just wanted to make everybody aware of a wonderful event that happened on Saturday at the Cultural Wellness Center, where I had the honor to be with our Assistant County Manager, Miss Itia Robinson, and with our Financial Director, Miss Walker, as they passed out and I passed out a few bags for kids full of school supplies. And that was a good feeling. These young ladies were out there with enthusiasm. They were positive, and they wish well wishes to those young people that came. I'd like to thank their parents. If there's anybody here, thank you all for coming on Saturday. Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you to Assistant Manager, Ms. Robinson, for your hard work, and for Ms. Kia Walker and the other ladies who also helped in Northampton County Administrative Office. So thank you all, and thank you for coming tonight.
This time,
Mr. Chairman, you know, since she mentioned that, I want to toot Rich Square's horn as a commissioner. We had our fun day this past Saturday. That touched the caliber of what you were saying, but I just wanted to let the members know that we had a very educational time in different areas that we had, and of course eating, and we enjoyed it.
thank you. I'll let you speak, or you talk about something positive. If it wasn't, I probably would not let you. Thank you for all you do. Okay, at this time, how about it, Commissioner Martin?
I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, and always enjoy having people here showing their support for county government and the interest in government. Remind everybody, schools are getting ready to be starting back. Some already have. So be aware of the extra school buses and traffic on the road as you drive around the county. Thank you.
Commissioner Faulkner.
Just thank everyone for being a part of the meeting tonight. You know, we have a lot going on in our county, a lot of positive growth from one end to the other. I'm thankful for all of the businesses that are looking to invest in our communities, and excited to have new staff members starting in local government to help us move forward the county's mission. Thank you all for being here. And if you need anything, you know how to find us.
Thank you. Thank you, commissioners. I want to thank you all for all the hard work that you're doing. Let me also personally thank our county manager and his whole staff for all the things that you do that you don't have to do.
Amen.
Collected all those school supplies. That's just one of the things that you do for the citizens of our county. I just want to say to you all, thank you. And it wasn't my idea. You all came up with the idea. I like the t-shirts you had. I like everything that you all do. Thank you for all that you're doing. To the citizens of our county, let me also say to you that we are proud of our county. We're proud of the achievements that we're making. Of course, the biggest room in the world is the room for improvement. As we go from day to day, we want to improve. To the citizens that are here, you're here because you're concerned about this county. I want you to know, if you have any questions, you don't have to wait till tonight to a meeting to get your questions answered. All you got to do is call the county manager's office, and they will certainly look. They will not only look, but they will respond to your call. I just want you to understand, and we understand we need to do something to have it done in a quicker pace than what we have in the past. And if questions ain't too hard, we will try to get the answer to you in 3 or 4 days. We know that we have an assistant now to our county manager, and that's what she's on that. Want to respond to every question that anybody have about our county. If you want any question, Mr. Daniel, about our finance, all you got to do is see our finance director, our Claire. She'll answer them for you. One thing that we're going to have in Northampton County, that is good hospitality. We're going to respond to, you might not like the response, but we're going to respond. Northampton County is moving. What we're waiting for right now, I'm tell y'all what we're waiting for. We're waiting for the General Assembly for them to do that gavel like that. When they do that gavel like that, then Northampton County is in their budget. We don't know what it'll be yet, But as of today, I got called, as of today, we're in the state budget. And the state plans to do all they can through our representative. Do all they can to help us in Northampton County. They did it before, and I need to say this because Mr. Daniels here, he see that new courthouse around there. The new courthouse is there. It's pretty too. And when they finish with it, it's gonna be, I mean, a beautiful place. Given to us without any of our monies going as far as the building. We do know we're gonna have to upkeep it. Thank you. If in the courthouse, you want to upkeep it. But at least we have that building without costing the taxpayer a single dollar for the building of that structure. Also coming is the annex to that building. We're just waiting for the for USDA to release to give us the go ahead. That funding has come to us. That funding has come to us in a grant. Likewise, it's $5 million that we doing for the annex. So all of our central services will be all there together. And just like you come tonight and you want to know anything that we got going on, you can go over there, you can go to the rest of these, you go to every department and they will be able to help. So I just want you all to know we are still working. Economic development. And I'm so glad that county manager himself will come up with a person who's going to help us in that area. He's well qualified. Look at his credentials. We just glad to have, and he's from Northampton County, a graduate of East Carolina, graduate of UNC Chapel Hill, and who has already the credentials, not only that, already have license to do the kinds of things that we need to get done in our county. I just want you all to know, if y'all stick with us, we're going to get out of the hole. We're going to be on top because we determined that we're going to work hard to make sure that Northampton County is all that it needs to be. Let me tell you the downsides. Y'all know a few days, tax notices going out. Ain't nothing I can do about it, but they going out. You look at it, in that tax notice, it also tells you some options that you have for paying your taxes. If you're a certain age with a certain income, you can get a reduction in your taxes. You also can go with a plan that you can pay so much every month. All of that will be in your packet that you shall receive. But with Northampton County people, we can't do anything about the taxes. It's there. Those who desire, who came and they don't like that, you have an opportunity to appeal that. Your appeal was said, we got to use the appraiser. Whether it's your appraiser or our appraiser, it got to be something in writing by law in order for us to look, in order for us to do any type of changing. So stick with us. We're going to be with you. We notice the rate we have our tax right now, but if we find ourselves and reduce it next year, I promise you, this board's going to reduce it. We've done it every year. And only we can't do it like we really want to do it now because we got so many uncertainty with our taxes, with us going, following the law. We just want to make sure that we can cover the county expenses. Again, thank y'all for coming. We are open, folks. We're open. All you gotta do is call us. We give it to you. And we thank you, Mr. Daniel, for coming out here. Need to say it again. Thank you for coming back and joining us. Thank all of you all for taking time, riding long as you have from wherever you come from to join us here in our board meeting. Again, if there'll be nothing else, board members, we ought to be in Raleigh sometime this week. All of us who can attend, we'll be up there in Raleigh at the state commissioners meeting. And we'll be there to sound off Northampton County too. We'll be there to tell the whole state that Northampton County is doing better. We're going to be there to represent you in Northampton County. If nothing else claiming our attention, board members, anything else? We need you just in a closed session for just a few minutes, just for a few minutes. There'll be nothing else. Could I have a motion that we go into closed session?
Make a motion, we go into closed session.
Okay, according to.
General statute.
Sorry, we have to state the statutes.
Yeah. Hold on.
Pass this down.
General statute 143-318.11A6 personnel. General statute 143-318.11A3 attorney-client privilege. General statute 143-318.11A4 EDC report.
Thank you. Your second,
Second,
we probably second, we go into closed session. All in favor, the known by you sign aye.
I, Broadnax Taylor.
Aye.
Ayes have it, motion is carried. Thank you all so much for coming. There'll be nothing done in our closed